Hello Internet, it's Olivierr, and today I'm going to show you how to paint realistic eyes. So what I like to do when I start is just to get a bit of color, just to see what's happening. So just gonna do that. Just gonna add a bit of color. Nothing too fancy. I don't have to be too accurate at this point. I just want to see, something. I want to see a bit of color. I want to start building on top of it. So I'm not too fussed if this is the right color or not. I just need to apply something. And as this is a demo about the eyes, I'm not going to bother too much about the rest of the face. Just going to put a bit like that. And obviously I'm not going to paint one eye because I'm not into all that shit. Okay, so that's a start. Actually, you need to do both, so we got more of an idea. Alright, this is really rough, but as I said, this video is not about the skin tones and how to blend the colors, though I know some of you asked me about that, and that's coming, but I don't really want to talk about everything in one video. Even though this video is already going to be really long, I've got to, So bear with me, answers are coming. At the moment I'm using an Astro cap, my favorite cap. Quick thing on blending, if you're struggling with your blends, you want to use the biggest cap possible. I'm using MTN94 with an Astro cap. You can use a silver cap with is it a black dot? Like those really, a beige dot, a blue dot, anything like that. Beige and blue will be more small, but you kind of want something, fuzzy. You don't want a skinny cap for blending, because it's not really what it's for. You want a lot of paint at the same time. Cool thing as well, I'm going to have to open the door in a minute. By the way, always wear a mask. The good thing about this, if you use an Astro, you can press fully, and you really want to take your time when you move, because otherwise it doesn't have time to apply. But look at this lovely spray. And I think this is the main thing people go wrong about. They do a portrait, so they think it's detailed, I need to use a skinny. You want to use a cap that's as thick, as big flow as possible. An Astro I found to be the best. But obviously you may prefer New York or whatever. If you use a New York, use a fat, not a skinny, obviously. Right, that's all I'm going to do for this. Right, so now I've got a color. So I've got two options. Now I can build on this color. And people all the time ask me, do you put dark then light or light then dark? I do both. It depends. And then you go back and forth anyway. So pick one and then doesn't matter. Actually, I'll do both. So I'm going to do two. I'm going to start by adding a lighter color, then I'll go with a darker color. And you'll see that it really doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter at all. So now I'm blending with the skinny. I'm just checking that it's not clogged and creating lines, and I think it is anyway, but we'll see. Alright, so now I'm going to add the light shade where I think it needs to be. It's a bit tricky because on the camera you can't see everything, obviously. Alright, so you see I'm adding a bit of 3D by adding a lighter color. Now I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to add a dark color. So I'm going to use marron glacé, that one. Skin is blocked. And really what I do, I just look around for this color, whatever color I'm picking up, I'm looking around the face, just like a printer that would print in CMYK primary colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, black. You know, you'd go yellow and blue and so on, and then when you look, it looked like a full-on color thing, just like small dots. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But basically, I pick one color. I don't know if the camera sees this, not so much. But actually, let me just focus a second. Okay, so when I pick a color, say it's this color, I would just add it everywhere around. If it's like this peachy skin tone, then I'm going to put it here. If it's inside the socket of the eyes, it doesn't matter, I put it there. You know, really everywhere around the face. And then if it's highlight, then I put the highlights and so on. So just to carry on with this. There you go. So you see there isn't any order that needs to be followed. You can go, once you go medium, you can go darker or you can go lighter. Because once you've done that, then inevitably you're going to go back to it and add whatever color it needs to be. So in this case now it's darker. The skinny is blocked, creating lines, but whatever. So you see now it's starting to have a 3D effect. By adding the darker color. And in the same way, now I can use the lighter color on this side. And you see, you're getting exactly the same result from one to the other. So it doesn't matter at all if you start with one and then go with the other, because by the time you finish the portrait, you're just going to keep going back and forth with, you know, light and dark shades and medium and different whatever. So there's a lot. It's really layers. It's like Photoshop. You really want a lot of layers. Don't try to be done straight away. You want to take your time. So I think so. This video doesn't end up being, you know, too long. I'm going to fast forward the thing and just paint this entire thing. But really what I'm going to do is just exactly what I've been doing now, just more of it. And if I think of anything else, any tips, I'll just do a voiceover. Quick thing I want to talk about though, the white of the eyes. And it's interesting because yesterday when I was looking for the best color for eyes, I didn't get white once, and not even in highlights, you know, like the highlights where it's like a spot of light that's reflecting in the gloss of the eyes. These were like light blue or light green or lilac or something, but I didn't even get white once. So, you know, the first thing you do when you paint eyes, and I did that as well when I started, you know, you're going to do the eyes like super white, and then, you know, the person ends up looking like super surprised or whatever. But if you look at a realistic portrait, the eyes are never white. Like, you can do the highlights in white if you want, even though it's not, but you can. Just make the whole thing ping a bit more. But that's it, just the highlights. Everything else on the inside, it has to be like a grey or something, or blue, you know, green or yellow, something. You know, in most cases, it's going to be a mix of everything. So, okay, I'm just going to focus on this one for now. So I can see there's some gray here, and I did a video ages ago, like explaining how to see colors, and it can be overwhelming. Again, you'll see on the video about the colors, there's a ton of information on this. But when you're trying to look at this and you can't see what you're doing, all you have to do is zoom as much as possible and just try and separate everything and just keep one, just keep one area. You just keep one area, and then you realize this area, you're not looking to see an eye or an apple or fire extinguisher or whatever. You're just seeing colors, but you just need to like really simplify things. On the video about the colors, I've pixelated pictures on purpose, so then it becomes really simplified. And I know I keep talking about this next video, but you're gonna have to watch it. It's gonna be a good one. So now I know what I'm seeing. I'm seeing some gray. I'm seeing some blue. And this cap is annoying. When it's cold, the paint works perfectly, but the caps get clogged really quickly. Alright, so that's... okay, on this one, just to drive the point home, I'm going to just focus on the white of the eye. I'm going to show you how many colors I see. Alright, now we've got a bit of paint. I love working with a phone or a tablet because I get to zoom in and really see the colors. When I used to work with printouts, you try to see what you're doing, and if you're in London, it starts raining and then you miss information straight away, it says. So I like using phone. Okay, then we've got quite a bit of blue. And the blue is sort of, I'm just going to flood fill everything with blue, because it's quite a bit of it. That's grey. Okay. Right, so now what I need to do is just go back over the top of a bit of white, just so that I don't want to go fully white, but I just want to have this color a bit more shallow. Yeah, like that. And what I want to do is I want to focus in the middle, so get this part lighter, because as it goes inside the socket, then it gets darker. Or I can use transparent black, which I think would be a better idea. And like there's no script, there's no way I can do a script with this. When I'm explaining some videos like this one end up being super long or whatever. When you're painting, you really want to, okay, this is going back to the basics, and I'm pretty sure I talked about it in another one, but if I want to go from here to here, I have to start here, I move, I start pressing, I stop pressing, and I carry on moving. So when I'm doing this with speed, what I'm doing is press, 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 because if I was to start here and go here, then, as opposed to having a nice smooth start and finish, I get two blotches, which is not what we want. It's not accurate enough. Right. So really, what I'm doing is, alright, I'm going to try and say it slowly. So, I move, I press, I stop pressing, I carry on moving, I move again, I press, I stop pressing, I carry on moving, I move, I press, I stop pressing, I carry on moving. So when you see me do it, fingers doing that, a bit like airbrushing. And also, you have to judge the distance. This is not the right distance, this is not the right distance. Anywhere in the zone is the right distance. You have to sort of see how it is. This is easy because I'm in an enclosed space and really I should open the door. But when you're out in the street, especially when you start using a fat cap, and then you press one way and then the wind fights you, and then it goes here and then you try and correct it, but it goes here again. You know, it's difficult all over the place. So you have to like move the can in all sorts of directions and press more or less. So this is like a really 3D sort of thing. You really get with it the more, you know, you get used to it the more you do it. But you see like here I'm pressing from here all the way to here. So that's a thick spray going to a thin spray. You see? So when you're painting, don't think that, you know, we're just pressing like that all the time, the same pressure, same distance. No, it appears that way, but really you have to judge it. This is not something I can show on camera. This is something you have to try and practice. And in one of the videos, somebody said I was like trying to withhold some information. How dare you? I give everything. Alright, so now that I got this, I'm just gonna bring it home a bit with transparent black. When you have a cap that's, I might be out of focus, but I want the wall to be in focus. This is like really close. When you have a cap that's getting clogged or whatever, just put it on top of a transparent color, transparent black, transparent beige, whatever, doesn't matter. It just, there's more thinner in that, it'll free the cap. There we go. So on this, what I want to do is I want to go this way, angle it this way, and this way it's going to give me a sharp line and a fade. Transparent black is really cool because you can really go slowly. If I was to use black, I'd have to get it in one go. So it's possible, but it's a lot more sudden. As opposed to transparent black, which gives you more, you see, like, that's it done. With transparent black, I can get that in like 5 goes and take my time and not overdo it. This is slightly overdone. I'll do the bottom as well. Cool. So now that I've got this, now I can start building colors. I mean, obviously by now, I would want to do the same on this side and add, this is way too much detail in one spot for my liking. There's no way, I normally don't paint like this. I sort of copied the, the masters like Michelangelo and all these guys. And when they were painting, they do like, say they do a landscape, they do a blue, one color sky, they do like a green hill and a lake. That's it, that's like 3 colors. And then they add like a little bit of clouds, a little bit of grass, and a little bit of reflection. And then they go back and so on. So you work on the whole picture together. So what that does is, it saves you from doing a piece, that looks perfect, but there's one eye that's too high, and it's happened so many times to me. But by that time, you've put so much effort, and it's late. You've been painting for ages, and you're tired. You don't want to do the whole thing again. So you either leave it, and then everybody, takes the piss out of you, or you can't use the picture. Or you have to redo the whole thing again, so that's not a good look. So the best thing to do is really work everywhere. You work here, you work here, you work on the nose, the mouth, the hair, but you don't make it perfect. You make it so that it looks pixelated, basically. And then you add a bit more to the entire face, and so on and so on. And by the time you're doing like the really thin eyelashes, the lips and the 3D and the teeth have to be in place. Then you can, do the whole thing. Alright, I'm just going to add a bit more white because I want a bit heavy with the shadow. Ah, that's nice, quite like this. And it's always, like when I'm painting, I love, like contrast is everything, not just my paintings, but if you look at a good painting, black and white, like the contrast at the end is what really makes it. You can get close with a really dark color and a really light color, but I find personally, black and white at the end is when a picture really pops and really, you know, looks cool. So if you use every color except for black and white, or very, very sparingly, like if I do the eyelashes, obviously I'm going to do them in black, and if I do highlights, I'll do them in white, so it really pings. But I keep those things for the very last bit, and this is when your painting goes from 3D to really 3D, because that's when it really pops. So for argument's sake, if I was to add this is way too soon, but if I was to add a highlight to this, I mean this needs a pink underlay anyway, but argument's sake. Then now, this really stands out way too much, but you know, all the other colors will make it blend properly. But you can see when you don't use white, then you can use white. But if you've already done the white of the eyes in white, then there's nothing brighter that you can add. So, you know, this is why I really like this color. This is Gemma Brown, but I think I might change for Penelope actually. But these off-white colors, they're amazing because you do everything as if it was white. Whoops. Or here. And then over this, then you can add your white. And you can see the difference. Even though this looks pretty much like white, when you actually put white on top, then it really stands out. And it's the same with brown and black. When I do the eyelashes, I can do the eyelashes with this. Sorry, eyebrows. But then I put black, because that looks pretty much like black, especially in a video. But then you put black over the top, and then you can see the difference. In a video maybe not so much, but in real life, yes. So keep black and white for the very last bit, but definitely use them.